Welcome back to Ego and Empathy, the podcast where we explore the psychology behind human behavior and the subtle ways it shapes our lives. I'm your host, Mandy, and today we're focusing on a tricky, empowering topic for people with empathic traits who are trapped in narcissistic relationships. You asked for practical, nonviolent approaches that can shift the dynamics so strongly, the narcissist may choose to leave. This episode gives 5 clear, safe strategies, each rooted in protecting your boundaries, reducing their supply, and reclaiming your life. We are not here to incite revenge or to provoke danger. We are here to create safety, clarity, and freedom. Before we begin, a short safety note: your well-being is priority. If you are in immediate danger, contact local emergency services right now. If you share children, live together, or fear escalation, use caution, plan carefully, and seek help from local domestic violence services or legal advisors. These strategies are about emotional safety and long-term change, not about escalation. Here are 5 ways empathic people can change the dynamic, often so decisively that the narcissist walks away. 1. Withdraw emotional supply with calm consistency, not drama. Narcissists thrive on emotional reactions, whether praise, outrage, or guilt. If you typically respond with empathy, explanation, or self-apology, shift to neutral, brief responses instead. Answer practical questions, keep conversations short, and refuse to be drawn into arguments. When they attempt to provoke you, say one sentence, and stop. For example, "That is not something I will discuss right now," and then end the exchange. Emotional withdrawal confuses and frustrates them, because they can no longer get the hits they need to feel powerful. Over time, their interest often moves elsewhere, toward people who still feed them. 2. Set ironclad boundaries, and follow through every time. Empaths often struggle with boundaries because caring feels natural, and saying no feels wrong. With a narcissist, inconsistency in boundaries is fuel. Decide in advance what you will tolerate, write it down, and prepare exact, calm language for enforcement. If they cross a line, enforce the consequence you promised, whether that means walking out of a room, leaving the house for a set time, or temporarily removing privileges. Do not explain, do not negotiate, just implement. Consistent boundaries remove ambiguity, and remove the psychological leverage that keeps you entangled. 3. Reduce transparency and emotional information, protect your inner world. Narcissists weaponize intimacy, curiosity, and secrets. Start protecting what you share about your feelings, plans, finances, and routines. Close shared apps, limit access to social media, and stop oversharing. If they used to know everything, a sudden lack of information feels like a loss of control, and they may escalate briefly, but they often lose interest if they cannot use your private life as ammunition. Create a few safe outlets for your empathy: a friend, a therapist, or a support group, so you are not isolated while you reduce supply. 4. Reclaim your social reality, publicize your calm boundaries in safe ways. Narcissists perform best when they control the private narrative. Responding to attempts to smear you with visible stability undermines their power. This might mean telling a small circle of trusted people the truth about how you will enforce boundaries, asking them to support you quietly, and not engaging in online drama. If you share children, move communications to written, factual channels and copy neutral parties if necessary. When the narcissist finds fewer people who believe their version, they lose influence and the emotional payoff of manipulation. 5. Plan for exit and enforce no contact if the relationship cannot be healthy. Sometimes the cleanest way to end ongoing abuse is to be prepared to leave, and then leave with safety. Create a personal exit plan, gather documents, identify a safe place, and enlist trusted friends or professional advocates. If you can safely implement no contact, do it. Block their numbers, limit shared accounts, and refuse to respond to attempts at emotional bait. No contact is the most effective way to remove supply, and when supply disappears, many narcissists move on, because they need ongoing attention to maintain their identity. A few practical tips to make these strategies work. Practice your scripts out loud, so you can stay calm when provoked. Rehearse a small exit routine, so you don't freeze when you need to leave a situation, and keep records of harassment or boundary violations, in case legal steps become necessary. Remember, a strategy that starts with quiet boundary work can provoke a short escalation. If you sense danger, pause and get support before changing your tactics. Safety planning is essential when coercive behavior is present. Also, be honest about your motives. These methods are most powerful when your goal is to protect yourself, not to punish. A narcissist who leaves because you stopped being a source of supply is leaving because the relationship no longer serves their needs. That is a healthy outcome for you. Celebrate your regained peace, not their exit. Finally, practice self-compassion and rebuild your identity. Empaths who learn to withhold supply and enforce boundaries often feel guilty at first. Guilt is normal, because you were taught to prioritize others. Reframe your choices. You are choosing survival and mental health. You are protecting future relationships from the same pattern. Invest time in restorative practices, therapy, and trusted friendships that model mutual care. You may be wondering, how fast will this work? There is no guarantee that a narcissist will leave quickly, or at all. Some escalate and attempt to punish you, others retreat and vanish, some attempt to manipulate new supply into your life. Prepare for several possible outcomes, and maintain the boundaries and supports that keep you safe. To end, I want to give you permission and encouragement. You do not have to be the emotional bank for someone who repeatedly takes without reciprocity. With calm consistency, protected privacy, firm boundaries, public stability where appropriate, and a prepared exit plan, you can change the dynamic profoundly. Sometimes they will leave, often they will move away emotionally, and always you will gain clarity and control over your own life. I'll leave you with this thought, a practical exercise you can try tonight. Write down your top 3 boundaries, then write one short sentence for each that you will say out loud if they are crossed. Practice saying them with a calm voice, and choose one trusted person to tell about your plan. Small steps build big changes, and you do not have to do this alone. Thank you for listening, and remember, protecting your heart is not selfish, it is survival, and your peace is worth every boundary you hold.